let you go, there's no way. I'm already still burning. So hold me close, now baby. I do what I'm told, still learning to take my chances, to take my time, to keep on dancing, to walk that line, yeah. You got me shifting the paradigm, no longer wishing, you're my lucky strike. Love the way you ride, look into my eyes, say you're ready to go. $1 million life, yeah. We could roll the dice, act like you're surprised, but you already know. Oh yeah, got lucky overnight. Jackpot when I got the invite. Let me wrap my arms around you, cause I can't go home without you. And my heart just vibe with you, babe. Wanna go sky high with you, babe. Gotta bring you close to tell you that you're my lucky strike. And I got to tell you, if you didn't know, then I got to tell you that you're my lucky strike. And I got to tell you, if you didn't know, then I got to tell you that you're my lucky strike. Cooler than cold, I'm all in. So load up the dice, so heavy. The way that you roll, I'm falling. So I never fall, I'm ready to take my chances, to take my time, to keep on dancing, to walk that line, yeah. You got me shifting the paradigm.
Oh man, I don't know how you can't get a smile on your face when you hear that tune coming in, because it means it's time for another week of the RecPoker podcast. So thanks for joining me, just like you do every week, folks. My name's Jim Reid. I've got the best freaking job in the world. I get to hang out here and talk about poker with my poker friends every Monday night, and you can too. Come join us free on YouTube at 7:30 Eastern every Monday night. You can come. We have a different guest every week. You can come and ask questions in the chat in real time. You can meet celebrities. You can win prizes. And it's just more fun when people are here live in the chat, engaging with the rest of the crew. So unfortunately, we don't have a guest tonight. We did have a guest lined up, I promise. Something came up in their life that they had to skip it. We're going to have them back in a few weeks instead, and that'll be a lot of fun. So we're going to have a bit of a shorter show tonight, but don't leave just yet. To make it up to you, we are going to give away not just a free month of premium membership at rec.poker, but we're also giving out a free month of membership at pokercoaching.com, Jonathan Little's training site, which is one of our Learning with Partners affiliates. Jonathan Little, I'm sure you've heard of him. He's a fantastic poker pro and coach. And he and all the people that are working with him at pokercoaching.com have been sharing some of their premium material with our Learning with Partners programs for the last couple of years. They're easy to recommend. And someone today is going to win a free month at their excellent training site. So stick around to the end and you can be the winner of Chris's magical die roll with the new nerdy dice that he's got. So just to get us started, like I always do, I got to thank our sponsors, the Running Aces Hotel, Racetrack, and Casino. And I have to do that because most of what we do here is free. We're a largely volunteer-based organization here at Rec Poker. And we just love sharing our love of poker with the rest of the world. We do have a premium membership, which is a way that some of our community members like to show their support for what we do here. We have a fantastic training program that's mostly run by Chris Jones and the rest of the RECing Crew here when it comes to our premium events. Book studies, study groups, discussions, strategy discussions, social events. There's all sorts of stuff we do, training sites, access to other training sites. Our premium membership is kind of like the flagship of what we do here at RecPoker. And all it costs is $15 a month, which I think is a great bargain. And if you use the code RecPoker, you can even get your first month for only $5. So since we last talked, we've actually had 2 new premium members sign up. Jeff Catalano. So I want to thank Jeff for his support. Jeff's a fun guy. I actually met him a couple of weeks ago in our community OPA, our online play and hang, which every month we open up on Tuesday nights to community members, not just premium members, to come and hang out and meet everybody and have a good time. Jeff had such a good time. He said, that's it, I'm going premium, and joined up to the premium membership. So I can't wait to get to know Jeff a little better and for him to unlock all the benefits of premium membership here. And Lachlan Swan is another new premium member who I am looking forward to meeting. One of the new Australian premium members that we have. Obviously, Troy Chapman has been banging the drum down there in Aussie land. We've had a few Australian guests on the show recently. I know we're working with a few of Troy's friends down there to bring our love of the game to Australia. I know Merv Harvey is a big fan, and he's been probably banging the drum down there a little bit too. So Lachlan, very pleased to see that you have joined our premium membership, and I hope we get a chance to hang out soon. So the sponsors, the premium membership, the only thing that's missing is the RECing Crew. So like I said, my name's Jim Reid. I've got the best job in the world. They give me the mic on Mondays, so you've all gotten real sick of hearing my voice right now, but I am just one among many. And in order to find out more about me and the rest of the RECing Crew, you can go to rec.poker/crew, or you can just listen up because you'll meet a few of them right here, right now.
I'm Chris Jones. You can find me 5B5 on Twitter or 5x5 in the PokerStars home game.
My name is Eric Jin, and you can find me on the forums as Binkley, in the home games as COM Binkley, or on Twitter as Rec Binkley.
I'm Kim Kilroy. I am PetVet33 in the home game, PetVet_33 on Twitter.
And I'm Joe Kulas. You can find me as Elvita11, both in the forums and in the home game. And on Twitter, I'm at Joe Cool PhD, cool with a K.
And I am John Somsky. I am Poker Geek MN everywhere.
I'm Rob Washam. I'm Radman50, just about everywhere.
And so as you can hear, we have kind of a rotating group of RECing Crew members in here every week. There's lots of us. We all love poker. We've all taken the step to kind of take a more active role, sharing our love of poker with other people and RecPoker members. So each of the people here contribute to everything that goes on at RecPoker in a very, very significant way. One of the things we're going to do tonight, because we don't have a guest, unfortunately, we're going to do a little turntable here and let everyone talk just a little bit about their own areas of RecPoker, what they offer our members, and how people can get more involved and join them for their own little poker journey here. One of the things that makes RecPoker great is there are so many different things you can do here, so many different ways to get involved, so many different ways to engage. We've got multiple events every day. It is not possible for any human to take in everything that we do at RecPoker. So the whole key is it's like a buffet. You got to come up and find the things that look good to you, and then fill your plate and enjoy. That's what it's all about. So I'll just get us started because we're going to be talking about some of the upcoming events on here at RecPoker. You don't get to hear Taylor Moss very often because he's got 2 children that go to bed around the time that we record this episode every Monday night. But Taylor's one of the OGs here at RecPoker. He's along with Chris and John and Rob putting this whole thing together originally with Steve Fredlin back in the day. And they've just been...
And John.
And didn't I say John? Yeah, okay, good. Maybe there's some reciprocal mic mic muting. I might have sound myself there. No, that's good. John deserves all the shout outs. Trust me, we're going to get to John too. I already forgot where I was going with that, Rob. God, you got me.
That was pretty easy.
Yeah, easily derailed, right? Oh,
Great job, Rob.
Taylor.
Great job.
Taylor,
yeah. Thank you. It's so
Hey,
easy to
I
get
just
me
want
off
to point
script.
out that, John is a pro when he gets interrupted, but Jim has, now the shoe's on the other foot. It's like, oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, that's right. See, we script this so carefully that if I even just deviate for a moment, then I'm completely lost. That's definitely what it is. So Taylor, he does some coaching through our Rec Poker. He's an active contributor to our strategy conversations. He helps, like the rest of the RecPoker Crew, guide some of the decision making about how we plan things and where we take the organization month by month into the future. But one of the things that Taylor really does is every year we have a Marek Madness bracket tournament. So this is, you may have heard of March Madness. This is like just a way better version of that. It all has to do with poker. And it's just a series of heads up matches between Rec Poker community members, Rec Poker premium members, RECing Crew members. And then sometimes we get some celebrity guests to come in and commentate on the matches as they go through. So throughout the entire month of March, on Thursday nights, March has 5 Thursdays. Every Thursday night at 9 o'clock Eastern, you're going to be able to go to twitch.tv/RecPoker, and Taylor's going to be live streaming the heads up brackets, each match, all the way down from 16 down to a finale, a heads up between the 2 bracket winners. You know how this goes with ladder tournaments. The last one's going to be on the last Thursday in March. It's going to be a 2 out of 3 contest. There's going to be different people commentating each week. It is super fun. We learn a lot. We have a great time. And there's a lot of bragging rights that go into this one. So by the time you're listening to this, we already know who the entrants are going to be. People have won their way in from a series of heads up challenges that we've had throughout the year. We do one on the 3rd Saturday of June, the 3rd Saturday of September, and the 3rd Saturday of December. And it's all going to be coming together right around the corner in March. So without Taylor here to speak for it, I just want to say, everyone, check out twitch.tv/RecPoker on Thursday nights in March. You're going to have a great time, and you're going to meet some fun people too. So that's one thing that I'm looking forward to. John, we're going to be hearing from you at the end when we talk about some recent home game winners, but why don't you lead off the conversation here by talking about a very new inaugural tournament that we're going to be starting this spring.
So we now have about 30 plus people who have won a silver pin. So we're looking at, what does the silver pin do for them? And we were thinking, well, maybe those with a silver pin should have a chance to win a gold. So every year, if you have ever won a silver pin, you are automatically invited to the Go for the Gold tournament. It will be held the 3rd Wednesday every April. So if you've won a silver pin, you can have a chance to win that gold. As of this moment, I will not be playing in that tournament because I have not earned a silver to be able to play in that. But we'll be sending out some notices. Everyone who's eligible, I'll send out a notice on the forums or in the messages on the website. So we hope to see you there, and it should be a very elite crowd and a tough pin to win.
And John, this is going to be like, this is the only way to get a gold pin, right? Like we've got the bronze pins. Yeah, there might be other ways in the future, but this would be so this April, someone's going to get the very first gold Rec Poker pin.
Yes, that is true.
I love it. And this is like the Masters. So anytime you win, like that silver pin's like a green jacket. You get to wear it forever. And even if you won a silver pin a couple years ago, you'll still be eligible to play as like a legacy member in next year's Tournament Champions.
Every single time. Even if you win the gold pin this coming April, you can try to win it again the following April. And because of you may or may not know, but for any given thing, you can only win one pin in that area per year. Well, because this tournament is only held once a year, every time it's played, you could win it.
It's pretty exciting. So folks, just briefly, because this is going to be the week we'll talk about a bunch of this stuff. Anyone who wins any Rec Poker home game, and we do 10 or 11 of them every single week, if you win one of those, you have earned yourself a bronze Rec Poker pin. That's one of these beautiful bad boys over here. They're a little smaller than the silver pins. The gold pins are even bigger because they get harder and harder to earn. The only way to earn a silver pin is everyone who wins one of these bronze pins in our nightly or international series or our mixed game tournaments or anything like that. You get invited to a monthly tournament of champions, and the winner of that gets a silver pin. So we only give out 12 of those each year. There's only 12 monthly tournament of champions. There's some other ways to get silver pins, but basically you got to beat a whole tournament full of people who already won a RecPoker home game tournament. So the silver ones are hard to get.
There's only 16 opportunities a year because there are the
Right.
12 monthly home game for the daily series. The No Limit Hold'em series has a points leader who gets a silver pin, and whoever wins the tournament of champions for that gets a silver pin. And then the mixed game has the same thing. A points leader will get a silver pin, and the tournament of champions winner will get a silver pin.
And then, of course, there's the new lifetime achievement. Right now, we shouldn't keep talking about it as though Dave is like. I feel like we're cursing Dave by talking about him because he's on 49 now. But anyone who wins 50, I mean, it's hard to win a RecPoker home game tournament. This isn't like back in 2019 when we started them and there were 15 people and we did one a month and not everyone knew exactly how to play poker yet. The fields are tough in these. And people are trying. People want those pins. I got to go asterisk hunting just to like fill out my hat a little bit here. Like no lie. So if anyone wins 50 lifetime, that is spectacular, and we want to celebrate that. So that's another silver pin that people can win at any point. But it takes some doing. And I think, John, we've only got a few people even in the 40s. I think we've got some in the 30s, a few in the 40s, and then really Dave's the only one who's really like knocking on the door. Do I have that right?
Yeah, Dave's right there. And then Doug Drebeck is fairly close behind.
Yeah.
And then right on their heels is none other than Kim Kilroy.
There she is. Pet vet. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right. I think you're in the early 40s, Kim. So you're yeah, no kidding.
Or late 30s, I think, actually.
Yeah,
But,
okay.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. That's why you folks got to come watch this on YouTube. I know most of you are listening on your commute or while you're painting the wall or something like that on the audio format, but we do have a lot of fun here on video too. And yeah, asterisk hunter. That's right, Chris. Exactly. Hey, game selection. This is what I'm saying. Game selection is a non-sexy part of poker, but that's how you got to get those results, folks. So I am really excited about this. When Steve and I first started this idea for the pins, we didn't even know what the gold pin was going to be, but it was like some kind of like Hall of Fame thing, or we got to have a something to look forward to beyond the silver pins. And so I'm literally years later, we're finally getting a chance to put something together for this. And John, I know we had also kind of talked about having a lifetime achievement award for a gold pin if someone wins like some ridiculous number of tournaments over the course of like who knows what that would be, 100 or 150 or 2,000.
We will have a gold lifetime achievement award. Exactly what it takes to earn that is yet to be determined.
That's right. And then
we'll probably figure out what Dave hasn't done yet, and then make sure.
Yeah, we gotta leave a lot of room in front of Dave. We need to give Dave a lot of runway. And then the only other pin that we're talking about here is this one here, which is actually I don't know if you can see this one a little better. This is our sort of MVP, our RecPoker MVP pin. And that's really only given to RecCing Crew members or people that have made spectacular achievements towards or contributions toward the community here. Ryan LaPlante has one of those, Darrow Kearney, Kevin Mathers, a few other folks that have really helped us out because they are MVPs. They're community MVPs. So those are the pins. It's all free, but it's fun. And I think, having something that you can show off and brag to your friends about winning, people can understand how freaking awesome you are at poker. It's nice to have something like this. And if people want, the pins are free because we've got members from all over the world. If you want them delivered to you, you just go to the shop. And there's a section under membership and more for pins and patches and that kind of thing. All I ask is that you just cover the shipping and handling costs, and then I will send out that pin to you. I'm sending out a couple just this week, actually. which I just puts a smile on. I know a lot of things put a smile on my face, but it's so cool to be sending out stuff like this. All right, Chris, I saw you unmute. What's on your
Yeah, I
mind?
just wanted to point out that we have our first winning comment of the day from Joshua Campbell mentions game selection and says his game selection strategy is to make sure that Jim is in the tournament.
That's a good one. That's a good strategy, Josh. And I'd listen to Josh Campbell because he knows what he's talking about around a poker table. He's one of our Tuesday night OPA regulars. And Josh is getting down to that final table awfully well. He seems to be he seems to be representing us well, the OPA well when it comes to the final table there. Thank you for your comment, Josh.
Apparently insulting Jim also puts a smile on his face.
I mean, that is true. That is true. Because I just know it comes from a place of love. Josh is such a lovely guy. You know, how could it not? Yeah, he won during the last OPA. Right. Yeah. Eric points out a perennial winner. There you go. And I think, you know, and he's got that awesome sense of humor that goes along with it. So there you go. And especially important for Josh because he has to get up so early. I happen to know he has to get up so early for work. It's amazing he's not comatose by the time we get down to heads up, but he knows how to represent. See, if you make fun of me, you actually get mentioned quite a bit on the show. This is like the Phil rule, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm setting a bad precedent here. Yeah, so Kim is a great RecPoker Crew member. She's lives the life that we all want to live. She travels around the world playing poker. She's part of the Poker Friends Forever group with Elizabeth Bennett Martin and Stuart Carriage. Kim, you just got back from the amazing PSPC tournament experience, and I know you've got some further travel plans coming up. Why don't you share a little bit about the Poker Travel Adventures group?
Right. I do travel a lot, which is why I don't necessarily participate in this as much as I would like to. But we do have a Poker Travel Adventures group, and we have a thread already started about the WSOP 2023 this summer. So this is a good place for people to put it, for the whole community that's thinking about going, to put any questions they have about travel, or if they're looking for a roommate to travel with, or a travel buddy, or if they want to post the dates they're going to be going to the WSOP or any other live event. As soon as I know where I'm going to the Irish Open, and I know a couple of our other members are going to the Irish Open, so I will post something about that. That's in April, but I know that a lot of our members will be going to the WSOP or are thinking about going to the WSOP. And if they want to have questions, they can put them in this the Poker Travel Adventures group, and I'll try and monitor that and try and get back to them. And specifically, if you're looking, you know, it can be expensive to travel. If you're looking to travel and you're want to look at Airbnbs, or if you want to look at shared accommodation, this is a good place to find somebody from the community that would be interested as well.
Yeah, and that's an underrated point. You know, travel is expensive, and it's hard to always find people that you can vouch for when it comes to sharing accommodation or that sort of thing. We don't all have buddies that like poker enough to go travel and drop hundreds or thousands of dollars on entries and flights and accommodations and that kind of thing. So I've actually had roommates for poker travel through the forums here at RecPoker because of this group that Kim set up. And if you're thinking about making a trip, go post in the forum. Go post in the Poker Travel Adventure forum. Ask questions. Maybe someone lives in the region that you're thinking of traveling to and can recommend a particular hotel, or to say, oh no, don't come for those dates, come for these dates. Maybe you can find someone to split a room with and have your travel costs. There's lots of perks to doing it. And this is a social game, and you know, RecPoker is a social place for social people that love this game. So do take advantage of that. Personally speaking, I know we just released our WSOP schedule podcast with Kevin Mathers last week. Chris, what did we do to get Kevin Mathers to agree to break the schedule live on YouTube with us every single year?
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm excited I'm already excited for next year's show. But I'm really excited to get down there. I'm looking at sort of like the last 2 weeks in June at this point. So if folks want to start making plans to get down there, we'll definitely be doing some kind of rec poker meetup in Vegas sometime in June. I don't know exactly when yet, or maybe more than one. Like I know if people are there in the first half of June and I'm there in the last half of June, there's lots of opportunities to get together and hang out. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Good call, Kim. Yeah, we got a comment from John here. I want to be Kim when I grow up. Yeah, no, a lot of us do, John. Kim's got it all figured out, I would say. Oh, and Martha says hello to Kim as well.
Hello,
Hi,
Martha.
Kim, from Martha. If folks don't know yet, Martha is my mom. She rarely misses an episode. She's here live in the YouTube chat basically every week. God bless her spirit and patience, eh? Can you imagine? All right. Chris, we've got several, just speaking about upcoming events. Chris Jones runs our content here, all the training material that we put together. It comes straight out of his brain. And he thinks ahead a few months. We've kind of planned out what the themes of the month for the next few months are going to be. Chris, why don't you kind of tease out some upcoming themes and tell people a bit about the deep dive experience and what that's all about?
Yeah, so we're really hoping that as a community we can kind of come together and have like conversations and around a single topic. So we start each month off with a piece of learning that goes out to our premium members. It's usually in some sort of like breakdown seminar thing with some hand histories that we had in a play and learn session. And then we continue that throughout the month with community conversations, with Q&As, with learning with partners segments and content, with a lot of different areas kind of speaking to the same topic. And I think it's been a really nice sort of thing and I've seen more people started to post hands and like try things out, and I saw one today even in the forums like I tried out a microbet, it worked, that made me really excited. So speaking of which, this is February, and our topic this month is c-bet sizing. So we're talking about these times where I think as recreational players, a lot of the kind of advice is just bet small and move on with your life. And we're kind of challenging that notion a little and saying that is good advice to start with, but there are situations where we want to bet really small, where we want to bet big, and where we want to really bet big. That's part of the topic this month. Why, when, and where do we actually do that? And then that conversation was so rich that in March, we actually changed up our schedule, and we're going to follow up in March, not just talking about the sizing and what kind of boards do we approach, but March is really going to break down how do we approach our entire range on boards where we are invited to say bet bigger, right? Like this is a board where we might bet bigger, but we're obviously not going to bet everything big, right? We're going to like some things we're going to check, some things we're going to bet small, and some things we're going to bet big. So in March, we're really breaking down the entirety of our ranges on these different kinds of boards. And then we're kind of doing a 4-month like kind of tour here, because then in April we're going to be looking at the turn. So now we're going to kind of look at these moments where we've made these kind of bets that maybe aren't familiar to us. Maybe we're a little uncomfortable. Well, what the heck do I do after I make an overbet and then I get called? Oh my God, so we're going to talk about approaching the turn after we take these bets that maybe aren't part of our standard practice. And then we'll continue in May talking about the river. So we're going to kind of go through a lot of the post-flop plays. And then finally in June, we're going to be talking about kind of donk bets, or people playing out of flow. How do we approach defending against that? And then is it ever a good idea to do it ourselves? And if it is, when do we do that? So that's kind of the upcoming on the schedule, and I think it'll be an interesting few months.
Yeah, well, I like this we're kind of leading ourselves through the streets so that when I get down to Vegas in June, I'll have a chance at least know what the difference is between the turn and the river. I'll start thinking about bet sizes, that kind of thing. You're really laying it all out for me there, Chris. I love that. And we do record these typically the month before because Chris and Daro Carney get together and put their heads together, put the stuff through some solvers, and provide some analysis for our guests, for our premium members. So you've got plenty of time to get engaged with this material. And I think it's a great program that Chris runs here.
And we
There's some
have,
great
I mean, we now
opportunities.
have a really extensive library of this. We had in the old days, we had these seminars. It's been changed into the deep dives, but we now have, I don't even know how many, but a decent number of backlog, which should really help you walk through a lot of key areas of strategy for your game. So
Mm-hmm.
go look at the
Yeah.
archive if you're looking for something to do.
And just speaking of the archive, I mean, we've been putting training material together now since 2019, and every video that we've produced is in the archives here. As a premium member, you can go back several years. You can review all the seminars, all the book studies, all the Learning with Partners videos. So Learning with Partners, I just want Andrew Feist isn't here right now, but he runs our Learning with Partners program. And we don't talk enough about how cool this is. So one of the things that makes RecPoker great is it's just the connections that we've made, not just with recreational players, but with pro players and with other coaches and training groups and that sort of thing. Some of the greatest training sites in the world will give our members access to their material so that they can get a sense of what the different programs are out there, what the different training styles, the different coaching voices, who's the right fit. Because, poker learning is a lot about fit. There's a lot of material out there. It's easy to get overwhelmed. Having someone who speaks your language, who can kind of show you what you need to work on in a way that makes sense to you is key. So folks like Solve for Why, Learn Pro Poker, pokercoaching.com, Red Chip Poker, the Poker Forge. We've also had MTT Poker School get involved. We've had lots of support from people like KL Cleaton over at Range Trainer Pro, Steve and Alan at Advanced Poker Training. There's just so many cool training sites out there that if you are a premium member here at RecPoker, every month you get a chance to go and watch a different training video from these other sites. And they're all in the archive too. That's sort of the archive is what got me talking about this. We're in the middle of kind of reorganizing how we organize some of that content. But if you like learning with partners, if you like working with like Ryan LaPlante at Learn Pro Poker, you can come and get quite a healthy taste of how Ryan likes to work, watch some of his training videos, and then decide to go take the next step, join LPP, and work with Ryan one-on-one. Just like with Solve for Why and the Poker Forge, pokercoaching.com, Red Chip Poker. Like these are just great partners that know recreational players are the future of the game and love sharing their material with them. So if you're listening to the podcast and you're thinking, maybe one of these days I'll give RecPoker Premium a try, drop that $5, use the code RecPoker, and just dip a toe in, step up to the buffet, to mix metaphors, and see all the different things that we had. Don't dip the toe into the buffet. I know, Chris, that's what you're thinking, but that's not where I was going with this. You'll find something fun, and even if it's just the archive, we've got a lot of really cool material in there that for $5 for your first month, you're going to be satisfied. I guarantee it. One of my favorite things that we've done here at RecPoker actually had to go away for a while because we had some technological issues. Eric Jin, every single week on Thursday nights, runs the Play, Explain, and Learn, which is such a cool concept. And I think one of the most effective ways to find your own leaks and learn what to work on. Eric, why don't you kind of explain to the group what it is, how you got started with it, and what's going on with it now?
Yeah, so the PEAL, Play, Explain, and Learn is an opportunity for everybody to say their thought process before making a decision, having people listen to that, and then when you watch the video, you can hear other people's thought processes. And so So it's inspired by Poker Out Loud, which is Matt Berkey's, where they play live, and they wear headphones and can't hear each other, and they're talking their thoughts. So what we do it online. We had a previous platform where we were able to have a God mode enabled, where we were able to see everybody's whole card. And unfortunately, that platform no longer offered the capabilities that we needed. So we actually switched over to our new platform of Fun Country. Unfortunately, Fun Country doesn't have the God mode, but it does have the ability to mute each other. So what we do is I have a separate account, an observer account, observing and recording our play. So you can see the board and hear everybody speak. But if you're playing at the table, you've muted everybody else. So when they're talking and saying, what they'll do is say, I have such and such card. I have the 5 of diamonds and the 5 of hearts. So this is a great hand. So, and Chris is nodding. So it'll be recorded, and then you'll explain why you think it's a raise or whatever action. You'll do the action, and then it moves on to the next person, and that next person will explain. So it's really interesting to see how people think about their decisions, how their decisions might be influenced by different things. Like recently somebody said, well, I don't feel like raising, so I'm just gonna call. So it may not be the best reasons, but they're your reasons, and then you can watch it and judge for yourself and it's just a way to.
No, we got a little cut out there. Is it just me?
Yeah, I lost him too.
Oh no. Okay, well,
I can speak for Eric. I mean, I've played along in the PEAL, and it's really a different experience to have to actually understand that everybody's going to hear exactly what you're going to do when your cards are shown at a later point, and what your thought process is to kind of put that down in a track, and then at a later point get to see what everybody else's thought process is about what you were thinking and what they were thinking you were thinking, and so on, as it relates to the hands that are presenting. So it's a great experience.
Eric, it sounds like you're back.
Yes.
We just lost you there for a second.
It was odd because I could hear you guys saying, oh, we can't hear, we lost Eric. I'm like,
oh,
I'm
no.
right here. I can hear you. So sorry. My internet
that's all right.
Sometimes.
We got some good comments in the chat here on YouTube from Charles Allen and Joe and Josh, talking about how much they've gotten out of it. And I think, we've talked about this before in the past. When you have to actually put your thoughts into words, it uses a completely different part of your brain than if you're just reading or thinking. If you actually are watching, if you have to actually put your thoughts into words, you use a part of your brain that is much smarter than the other parts of your brain, a more active. Joe will talk about this in a second. Joe, okay, I know you're coming, buddy. Yeah, I'm so bad at this, but it really does help. It really helps, and you have your own BS detector too. And I think when we're getting lazy and just playing, we might make decisions and we'll kind of rationalize them with lazy logic or something to kind of fit what we want to do. But when you have to say it out loud, especially if people are going to be listening to you afterwards, and then you kind of it involves introducing a level of rigor to your own mental process that you might not have otherwise. And in fact, I encourage my coaching clients. I say, pretend that someone's going to be listening to you. Pretend that you have to send me a copy of you playing poker today, talking through all your actions, and record it. And then even if you never send it to anybody, simply the accountability of having to explain your actions is going to stop you from making some stupid or lazy errors that you would make otherwise. I don't say that to call anyone stupid or lazy. We all make stupid or lazy errors because poker's really hard and we're all human. So the goal should not be to play perfectly. It should just be to make smaller errors or fewer errors than you would make otherwise. And having to
Yes.
say your stuff out loud makes a big difference.
Yeah. So we've been having regular sessions on Thursday nights. We've just moved to our new time, which is 7:30 Central Time. No, I'm sorry, 9:30.
9:30 Central.
9:30 Central Time. I'm sorry.
Yep.
It's my time is 7:30 Pacific Time.
Yeah, Pacific. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've had a nice, good regular crowd. Like I said, we had a bunch of fun. So we're gonna go through to the end of February. We will take because of Marek Madness, we will take a 1 month hiatus for March because that will be on Thursdays, but then we'll start back up in April. So
Fantastic. And I know not having done it for a while, people are still getting used to having it back in the rotation. But I do encourage people to come and check this out. I've been really impressed with some of the comments that have come out of it, because generally what happens is after the session, once the video is released, the participants kind of break down the action on Discord. And it's been great, like watching people make these realizations about their game or the assumptions they're making or about the assumptions other people are making. It's a really great discourse when it comes to getting inside the head of other serious and thoughtful recreational poker players. So kudos to you, Eric. And yeah, folks, you've still got a ton of Thursday nights to get involved in February, and then failing that, after March, we'll get right back into it in April. So Joe was sort of, again, only over video, kind of just like expressing his angst to me, because when I start talking about the way the brain works, he's like, Jim, I'm a clinical, I'm a board certified clinical neuropsychiatrist. So Joe is one of our newest Wrecking Crew members, and I'm so excited to have him on the team here because he approaches poker from a completely different area from the rest of us. And we're about to start tapping into Joe as a resource for a lot of our premium members here. So Joe, you've got a monthly group of your own getting started. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what makes you so awesome, and what people can expect out of that on a typical basis?
Well, what I like to say is that I'm actually kind of a mediocre poker player, so it's kind of weird for me to be, in this panel, and I would say probably everybody on this panel is better than me in terms of poker. So what the hell am I doing here? Well, I'm actually a pretty good psychologist. As Eric, if I don't say this, Eric will make fun of me. I'm a board certified clinical neuropsychologist, which means that what I've done is that I've studied brain behavior relationships for the better part of my adult career. And I'm pretty knowledgeable about that. So when you look at the poker landscape, you have a lot of people, sorry, Jim, a lot of people commenting on psychological processes and brain processes, and they really don't quite know what they're talking about,
No,
and they make a lot of
we don't.
assumptions, and they get a lot of bad advice, and pretty soon people there was another site the other day making recommendations about eating oregano or something like that as prior to every session as being some sort of a memory enhancers. And it's just absolutely ridiculous, and it doesn't have any basis in science. So what I want to do with the time that is allotted to me, that these kind people have allowed me to do, is to present and help people within the RecPoker Nation to understand these concepts. Yeah, some of it's going to be related to tilt and mental game as it's more traditionally thought of in terms of how psychology interacts. But I think that that's actually fairly limited in terms of what psychology and an understanding of psychological concepts can bring to the table and help your game, particularly around things like cognitive biases, which are things that all of us are affected by to a greater or lesser degree, regardless of whether or not we want them to or not. And if we can understand them in ourselves, but also understand them in our opponents, we can gain a slight edge, or maybe a fairly significant edge, in terms of understanding what they're likely to do in certain situations. So some of what I'll present is going to be in video format and try to discuss various concepts so that people can access those more regularly. But I hope to have every month a session where people can come in and talk about things that they've heard about, talk about things they've struggled with at the tables. And I'm still working on some of the details in terms of how it will flow, but hopefully that people can actually ask and bring questions to me that I can look up, provide my insights, but also insights from the scientific literature in terms of what the behaviors really are. So it's not just a bunch of people's opinions about how humans behave, some certainty that there is some evidence behind it. And that's what I hope to bring to the table. And maybe a laugh or two every once in a while, I hope.
Yeah, cosign. Most of the people that know me and Joe agree that Joe's much funnier than I am. I can speak to that. I can speak to that. That's fine. That's fine, Joe. You're a funny guy. That's all right. Wear it with pride. So no, I really am looking forward to getting to know that a little better and to diving into that. So that's going to be on one Thursday every month. So folks, if you go to the rec.poker homepage, www.rec.poker, I may have mentioned it's free to go get a free community account. Just go do it. Go get that free community account. If you go to the homepage and just scroll down a little bit, you'll see a calendar that outlines all the events available this week. And the blue events are opportunities to engage with study groups or strategy discussions or book studies or that kind of thing. And the yellow events are home games that you can come and play in through our Play Money client on PokerStars. So I encourage you, just go check that out or go to rec.poker/events and you can see everything that's coming up for the next month, which is a great way to start to make some plans ahead. Rob Washam, who's here tonight, runs our book study program, which is one of our longest running premium activities that's gone on here. I think we've gone through, I want to say like 6 books or something over the last few years, something like that. Rob, why don't you tell us a little bit about kind of how you approach the different book studies and what we're working on now and what you enjoy about it?
Yeah, it's kind of been a great thing for me because I read a lot of poker books anyway, and being able to take that content in a poker book and then break it out, and I make a nice outline, of the key salient points of that particular chapter and try to, go through them and then have other people, and we usually get quite a few people join us, and we get an opportunity to discuss these concepts. I don't profess to be the expert at all. So what I'm trying to do is present what I have read in the book, and hopefully other people have also read the chapter, and then we can exchange our ideas about how we approach whatever subject we're talking about. So it's been really fun because there's a lot of interesting conversation. We talk about this going down rabbit holes. We get going on. And another thing that's kind of interesting is we can all bring our own perspective in the types of games that we play and how what we're learning in these books pertain to the specific games that we're playing. Because obviously we went through modern poker theory. None of us are playing against GTO bots. Well, at least that we know about. And so it's not, we're not going to find those types of players, but understanding how the GTO bot would think helps us maybe inform our decisions to how to exploit players that aren't playing that way, how to make a little bit more money based on that. And then today we're studying The Poker Brain by Matt Matros, which is really what he's doing. He's teaching us how to think optimally at the poker table. And what I found really interesting about this book is it's really modern poker theory broken down to make it understandable for us recreational type players. He's really taking all these concepts that we're talking about are really GTO concepts, but I guess he's breaking it down easily enough for us rec players to understand it. So it's really been enlightening to me because it makes it easier to use these concepts while I'm playing after reading, what Matt Matros is talking about. So I think in general, anybody that likes to read poker books would enjoy our poker study, because like I say, there's a group of people that are all getting in it together. They all bring their own ideas, and we exchange those ideas, and we try to learn something new if we can. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and don't let humble Rob bury the lead there. It's amazing the work he does to set up these slides in advance to sort of break down the concepts that we're going to be going through in each section. He's really an excellent facilitator for the group. And I mean, Rob, I got to tell you, people love the book study. Everyone tells me how much they enjoy it, how much you have helped them understand some of this more sophisticated poker knowledge. So, Rob's just one of these folks on the RecPoker Crew here. If you're interested in getting some one-on-one coaching time, I offer coaching here through the RecPoker Crew panel. Chris and Taylor and Rob are also, very knowledgeable people. They love working with beginner and intermediate players, just like I do. And one of the things that we enjoy so much of it is that we get to distill this kind of abstract, complicated poker knowledge into little actionable, applicable nuggets that you can take and go play with on your own, on your felt in the games that you're playing. So do check it out. It's a great way to kind of advance your learning. I know when I learned, I said, I'll do this as a short version of this. When I started playing poker and learning, I did it all on my own. I watched videos, listened to podcasts, read books. I didn't ask for help. I never got any help. And it took me years to learn things that I could have learned in months if I had just had someone kind of showing me some shortcuts, shining the light on the path ahead a little bit. So it's not about, reaching heights you couldn't reach otherwise so much as just accelerating your knowledge, accelerating your journey, getting there faster, and spending more time playing as a more advanced player. None of us are going to live forever. You want to make the most out of the time you have here on Earth to play poker. So speed yourself along that path a little bit and give yourself the benefit of that.
Yeah, I think even beyond that, it's just talking with other people that are interested in the same thing that you are. And you'll find that as you try to explain, situations that you ran into to someone else, and then they kind of give their take on it, in that exchange of information back and forth between people who share this passion really helps, enlighten you even further. So I think it's much more than just getting coaching. It's just talking to somebody that has the same interest as you and has the same passion as you and can open up new ideas.
Yep, well said. And we got another comment in the chat here from Josh saying that he loves it because it keeps him accountable. It can be hard to stay focused on reading something. And I think that's true, especially, the denser poker books like Modern Poker Theory. I think knowing that you're going to be joining this group every 2 weeks on Wednesday evenings to discuss it can just be a little bit of a kick in the butt to keep us motivated to read it, to get the reading done. Even if it's just one chapter, sometimes having that light at the end of the tunnel can help with that sort of thing. So, some really nice comments in the chat here. All oregano aside, there's some good stuff in there. So if you want to know what the joke's about, folks, you got to come over to the YouTube. Join us on Monday nights at 7:30 Eastern. So Ben Enslow couldn't be here tonight. Ben's another new member of the RecPoker Crew. And he is really concentrating on streaming. If you go to twitch.tv/bjammin96, you can catch Ben's stream. He streams very actively on Fridays and Saturdays and a lot of Sundays as well. He's like I say, another RecPoker Crew member, really positive guy, great attitude, a lot of fun to watch on the stream. And he's making leaps and bounds since he got more involved in RecPoker as well. So I'm excited to see what the future holds for him. We also got Keith Brandt, Monkey System, who couldn't be here tonight, but he has a session on the second Wednesday of every month. Wait, no, hold on a second. Is that right? The second Wednesday of every month is Monkey System's Off-Table Tools study group. So every month, Keith is the man to talk to, whether it's advanced poker training, Flopzilla, Range Trainer Pro. He'll use a different tool or maybe the same tool a couple months in a row to kind of break down Chris's theme of the month through a different off-table tool. So when it comes to study aids and that kind of thing, anything that you do off the table, Keith Brandt is a great person to talk to about that kind of thing. And then Tim Fritz, another RecPoker Crew member. Tim works with DTO, a simulator program that helps you train and gives you instant feedback. He also runs solves for our members. If you go to the RecPoker shop in the coaching category, aside from seeing coaching options, like I say, from Chris and Taylor and Rob and myself, you'll see them from Tim Fritz, where you can have him run certain simulations on your behalf. And trust me, if you're thinking about learning how to use a solver, you want to talk to someone who knows what they're doing and just get a little bit of a heads up on how to get the most out of it, some shortcuts, what to do, what not to do. And Tim is a great resource for that. I should say also, someone asked me the other day, Chris Jones, I'm just going to put you on the spot here. Someone asked me the other day, they were thinking about reaching out to someone for some guidance on ICMizer. And I said that was something that you were familiar with. Is that the kind of thing that you're comfortable helping people with, in your time, if they book coaching time with you, stuff like that?
Sure. I mean, I have kind of most recently made my own transition from ICMizer to HRC, but they work fairly similarly. And I'm familiar with it. I used to use it. So
awesome. And then also, like, Flopzilla is such a powerful tool. I know, like, Rob and Chris and Taylor in particular really know how to make Flopzilla sing, and you can unlock a lot of cool stuff in there if you book a little coaching time with them. For me personally, my bread and butter is Poker Tracker 4. I live, eat, and breathe Poker Tracker 4. That's the thing that I like to make dance. And so if you ever want to take a little waltz through PT4, I'm the man. I'm the man to talk to about that. Trust me, there's lots of other people out there who know more about Poker Tracker 4 than I do. But that's kind of the one area that I feel like I'm able to speak.
To me, like, just as at a bare minimum, if you're going to start making an investment in yourself as a poker player and you're going to be playing online, Poker Tracker 4 or Hold'em. Hold'em Manager is fine too, but you should be investing in that. And Flopzilla is so cheap. It's a lifetime subscription, and I think it's one of the most powerful tools out there. So just invest in yourself.
And the LifeNet and me will just point out that those are one-time purchases.
Right.
So you can get Poker Tracker 4 for a little over $100 once and then use it for the rest of your life. You will not get to the bottom of that rabbit hole. There are so many, you could spend thousands of hours in Poker Tracker 4 and still not get all the way into the cool stuff that it can do. So, and Flopzilla, I think, is something like $30. And it's a fantastic program, and it can do things that other programs can't do. So before you're, going out and buying a solver or something like that, if you don't have Poker Tracker 4 and Flopzilla, those are two great places to start. If you go to our resources page, rec.poker/resources, I believe you can also get a discount on both those products. Or no, actually, you can. Well, go check it out. And we would appreciate that. If you're thinking about buying Poker Tracker, please use our link, get yourself a discount. We'll send you a free RecPoker HUD that I designed for our members. And it just helps us out a little bit, like a lot of our partnerships and affiliate links. That's how we keep the membership price so low, and how we keep most of what we're doing here free is by trying to offset our costs through affiliate relationships, sponsors, donations from members that aren't premium members, that kind of thing. So I really do appreciate that. And if you want to find other ways to help out with what we're doing here, you can go to rec.poker/support, and you can find some other ways to help us out for free, or to buy us a cup of coffee or something every once in a while too. Joe, you unmuted there. Was there something you wanted to jump in with?
Well, I just wanted to say there's far less singing and actual dancing that's involved with these tools than you're actually alluding to. But
that's true. It's downright somber by comparison, right? Yeah. No, the only dancing we do here is when the intro and outro music come through. That's about all the head bopping you're going to get from us. Well, I think we're going to do our food bank support drive raffle here in a minute. So what we like to do is every week on the show, we give away a prize, and we do it by folks entering the words food bank into the YouTube chat here. It's only for folks that are here in the YouTube chat. Tonight, the prize is going to be a free month at pokercoaching.com. We're also going to give away a free month to learn pro poker, because that's what happens every Sunday night when someone wins the Sunday night Learn Pro Poker home game that we do here, which is, again, free to enter, folks. Go join that home game club. Join 400 or so other people who are enjoying the battle that we have in our Play Money home game club. So I'll just say that the reason we use the words food bank is to kind of raise some awareness for food insecurity. It's an issue that affects more people than you might expect. Even some people in your own neighborhood that you might not think are in need. It's a spectrum. Food insecurity is on a spectrum, and people from all walks of life need a little help every once in a while. And putting food in the bellies of hungry people is just a great way to contribute, a great way to make the world a better place. And it has a really high ROI on the other ways that you could donate your time or your money to other excellent causes. Just directly putting food in people's stomachs is a great way to maximize that. So we'll give folks a few minutes to type the words food bank into the chat. I'm just going to roll over a couple upcoming events at Running Aces Hotel, Racetrack, and Casino. From March 1st to 5th, there's the Pot of Gold tournament, which is a $360 buy-in with multiple day ones. On March 18th, the Post Patty Free Roll, which is a free buy-in with $5,000 added to the prize pool. And there'll be a forums episode coming out in February going over a couple strategies that you might employ to get the most out of your add-ons there, because there are unlimited add-ons for $10. And then the Mid-States Poker Tour is coming to town March 23rd to April 2nd. There will be multiple events going on there. They know how to have a good time. And those are generally good value tournaments and a lot of fun to play. I know a lot of the RecPoker Crew members are in Minnesota near the Running Aces Hotel, Racetrack, and Casino. So I expect you'll get a chance to bump into a few of them there if you like to try your hand at some of these upcoming tournaments. And we'll also be doing our own RecPoker weekend at Running Aces a little later in the summer. So we'll tease that now, but sometime in August or September will be a chance for everybody to get together and have a great time. So here we go. What do you think, Chris? Should we work our die magic? I see, just so there's no controversy here, Charles, Jim, Stu, Mary, and Josh is 5. Evil Roy Slade, I think he's humble bragging that he already has a membership to pokercoaching.com, because he's just saying good luck to all. That's good. Bank that karma, Dave, because you got one coming. You got one to save up that karma for number 50. That's a good strategy. So Chris, you get to roll a boring old six-sided die.
Six-sided, or do I roll a 10-sided and give everyone 2 numbers? Oh,
that's what you should do. No reroll option.
All right.
That's it. Welcome. So, see, he embraced the nerddom so
okay,
easily.
So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you got it.
Totally get it.
It's a 3, so that would be our second person on the list.
Jim Gibson. Gibber. All right, Gibber. Congratulations, Jim. From one Jim to another, you are in for a treat, my friend. So you know the drill. Please send me an email, jim@rec.poker, and I'll send you the information about claiming that free month at pokercoaching.com. You're going to love it. So John Somsky, let's give away a free month to learn pro poker, just like we do every week, to whoever won the Sunday night game this week, unless it was Eric Jin, because as we said last week, we're not allowing Eric to get any better at poker. He's already cracked the code. It will not be, no, we're not doing it, Eric. I'm sorry. No, forget it. You're already too good. Yep. I don't make the rules. I don't make.
Well, actually, you kind of do make the rules. Just, Anyway,
this is a leadership panel. I just guide the conversation. You guys make the rules. I just hang out and chair the meetings.
So we had our No Limit Hold'em Championship series, and some person named Poker Geek MN managed to win the No Limit Hold'em Championship series.
So wait a second, is that the monthly No Limit Hold'em series on the first Wednesday of every month?
Yes, it is.
So
That
do
is the
you
one
got a
that you
whole-
get points for, and there is an annual TOC for.
Are you the points leader?
No, I am not the
Oh,
points
you're not.
leader.
Ooh.
No, because this is the second tournament of the month, and the first tournament of the month I did so poorly that despite having won one, I am not the leader
All
of
right.
the series.
But you did get a brand new bronze RecPoker pin.
I did earn a bronze pin, and I do get to play in the TOC at the end of the year, and
Fantastic.
I have a shot at going for the Player of the Year points.
Right.
But
Yeah,
remember,
good
this
stuff.
year, only 10 scores count. So even if you have not joined yet, even if you have not been able to play in either January or February, you can still earn 10 recorded point sessions towards the Player of the Year.
Did we make
That's
that
right.
rule before or after your January collapse?
No, it was made
I know.
in
I'm
December.
just kidding.
Yeah, believe me, I despite having won one, the chances of me winning Player of the Year are slim.
We'll just see. We'll just see.
Then we have the daily series. Keto Man 335, Kian Tavakoli won his third nightly series for the year.
Yeah.
Torinor, Joshua
Josh.
Campbell got his first nightly series for the year, his fourth overall win this year.
Amazing.
Roadstar 33 got his
Randy.
first nightly series for the year.
Congrats,
Don't
sir.
Chase 666,
John.
Joseph Armstrong.
Oh, Joseph. I was so close. Sorry, Joseph.
Yeah, you're now misdoxing people.
I got to
got
balance my
his
range. I'm
first-
balancing my doxing range, John.
Yeah, got his first nightly victory for the year. Glassjaw 222, David Schoen got his first nightly victory for the year. Then B-Chip, Charles Allen got his second mixed practice event victory for
Wow.
the year.
Wow.
Rick the Good Dog got his first international victory for the year.
Nice. Way to
Gilly
go, Rick.
19341, Rich Deacons got his first international victory for the year.
Amazing.
And then the mayor is back. Tom Wheat won the LPP event, so he can contact Jim at rec.poker to get his free month at Learn Pro Poker.
There you go. And like we said at the top, you're in for a treat. Send that email. And step 1, email Jim at rec.poker. Step 2, get your free month at Learn Pro Poker. Step 3, profit. It's just that easy, folks. It's just that easy. Is there anything else that we should mention tonight before we let people roll on home to their families? I know we're going to do another, if you're a premium member and you're listening live, at the top of the hour in about 40 minutes, we'll be recording the forums edition of the podcast. That we record a few of those a couple weeks in advance just to make it easier on our production team. Thank you, Renz. and Roger Schutte, I gotta say, Roger Schutte is such a great guy. He's so on top of things here when it comes to the podcast. It's amazing. I'm so glad we've got him on the team. So premium members are welcome to join us for the recording of the forums edition and come right on the show and join us as a panel. Post a hand of your own that you're interested in talking about in the forums, and then come to the recording. It's every 2 weeks after the chats edition, and we have a great time. It's probably the most fun I have all week, talking poker with our members and talking strat and getting into hands and spots. So do come along and join us for that. Eric, I see you're unmuted. Chris, Chris, you got something for us here? Nope. All right. Just Joe, what about you?
I just want to apologize for how short this particular episode was.
Sorry. Yeah. Good point, Joe. Joe called it. I right before we started recording, I said, "Oh, this will be a short one. No guest. We'll just kind of go over some things and roll on out of here." Joe's like, "Jim, when you're leading the show, there's no chance of a short show. We don't. The word short. Remove the word short from your vocabulary." I see Rob nodding along down there too. I am trying, folks. I'm trying. Thank you to all the fantastic comments in the YouTube chat. I see J&P Cat. Hey, Jay, that's Jeff. That's one of our new premium members. I just sent you an email today. Thanks for your support. Arnold Barron, another recent premium member, says, great show. Can't wait for the items coming down the pipe. I'm so glad to hear that, Arnold. I hope you're having a great time. Jim Gibson, Dave, Josh, Mary, Stuart, Charles, Martha. We got a whole bunch of wonderful people joining the conversation here over YouTube chat, so I really do appreciate that. I want to thank Joe and Rob and Kim and Eric and Chris and John, the RECing Crew members that were able to make it here today. We couldn't do it without you. Of course, we got to thank the Running Aces Hotel, Racetrack, and Casino. But mostly, I just want to thank you, the listeners, because you're why we get out of bed every morning. So thanks for your support and have a great day. We'll see you again next week.